In this video, we'll show how you can create a spreadsheet control, pre-populate the control with data from a SQL table, and then do CRUD operations on the SQL table, such as update, insert, and delete. So we'll start out here. We'll go to add control, and we'll do a spreadsheet control. I'll just call it SS1. And then we'll open up the builder for the control. And either the control can be empty initially, which means that you can just edit and type in arbitrary data, or you can pre-populate it. So we'll choose this option. And then we'll go here and define our connection string. And we'll say that the table is the customer table. And then we can choose which fields we would like to see in the table. So we'll go there and choose, say, those fields. And then go ahead and click OK. So let's just go here and save this. I'll call it SS1 and now run it. So we'll see that the spreadsheet control is listed over here. And we can now basically scroll through all the data. So we're looking at 5 pages of data with let's just go back and turn on the spreadsheet. So we'll go back to the control and we'll customize the spreadsheet. And we'll say that we'd like to put in a page selector for the page size. And we'd also like to put in a control to enter the target page number. So right now, the default page size is 20 records per page. And we have a viewport size, which is the number of rows in the spreadsheet that we are going to be able to view. And the viewport conversion factor is 20, which means that if the width of the field is, say, 10 characters, then we'll turn that into a width of 200 pixels. So that's going to be 10 characters times 20, which will give us 200 pixels. So let's go ahead now and run this. So we can see that we basically have 10 visible rows, and we can scroll down to the last record on this page. And now we can go to the next page. So now we're navigating through the pages of the data. And let's just go and make the spreadsheet control a little bit wider. So we'll go here 2% and we'll change it to 50%. So now we basically see 50% over there. And we have multiple columns here. The columns are resizable. So let's go here and change the size of that column. We'll change the size of this column as well. Now let's go and make an edit. So we'll go there and change that from Antonio to Antonio, and then click off the row to make it dirty, hit the save button. And now we've basically done a CRUD operation. If we'd like to see what the actual CRUD operation was, we can go back to the spreadsheet definition here and turn on this option here, which says show CRUD statements. So let's go ahead now and run it again and change this back to Antonio 2, and then go here and say save. And we can see that this is the CRUD that got executed. There was an update statement, and there are the arguments that were used for that CRUD statement. So what we've shown over here is how you can build a spreadsheet control to perform CRUD operations against a table. In the previous video, we showed how you can use the spreadsheet control to perform CRUD operations on a SQL table, and we did an update statement. So now in this video, we're going to try to delete some records, and the delete's going to fail because of a foreign key constraint. So I'm going to go here to that record and say delete. And you can see it's marked here as deleted. And then I'm going to go to this record here and delete this one, record 2. It's also now marked as deleted, and then press the save button. And we'll see now that basically there's the 2 statements have errors. And if we put our focus on the row, there's the error that resulted from that SQL statement. And here are the CRUD statements that were attempted to be executed. And you can see that they are shown in red because there were errors. So there's the first error, and there's the second error over there. So basically, if a CRUD statement results in an error, the error is indicated in the row selector, and the error message is shown when you give focus to the row. So if I give focus to that row there's the error message. And if I give focus to that row, there's the error message. So the next thing that we should point out is that the spreadsheet control allows columns to be reordered and resized. So let's go here to this control there, contact name, and make that a little wider, and then go to the city column and move that into the first position. So you can see now that if I rerun the component, those column positions and column sizes are automatically reset. So what we've shown now is how columns can be resized and reordered, and the size of the column and the position of the column is remembered when the component is run. So let's take a look now at the navigator. So as we scroll through the data here, we can basically modify the current page that has focus. So right now the page size is set to 20. So I'm going to go there and change the page size to 10. So now we have 10 rows per page, and there are 10 pages. If we go and change it now to 20, you can see there are now 5 pages. So we can change the number of records per page. And if we go now back to 10 records per page, you can see that we can now basically sort the data. So if we go here and click on the sort icon, we are sorting the data. The first click sorts in descending order. The second click clicks in sorts in ascending order, and the third click turns off the sort. So if we go now and change our page size to 20, we'll see that basically we now have a viewport size of 10, which means that there are 10 visible rows in the spreadsheet. And because there are more records per page than there are viewport rows, we have the scroller over here, which allows us to scroll quickly to any record in the current page of records. So we're now going to scroll all the way to the last record in this page, which is record number 20. So each record has a logical record number. So this is record number 20. If we go to page 2, we'll see that the records start at 21 and go all the way to 40. And then let's go to the last record here. And we can see now that the last record has 93 because that's how many records are in this table. We can now go and we can turn on debugging information. So let's go to add control here and scroll down until we get to spreadsheet debugging info. And we'll choose debugging info for SS1. And we'll put that at the top of the spreadsheet and then go over into working preview now. So we see that here's our debugging information. There are 93 records, and the page count shows 5. So let's now go and perform some type of filtering on this data. So we can click over here and we can type in, say, USA, and then filter. So now we're looking at records from the USA, and there are 13 records now in the list. We can also go here and we can use commas to do or. So I'm going to go here and type in, say, UK, comma, France. So this is going to search for all countries that are either UK or France. So you can see there we have UK or France. And finally, we can use wildcard syntax. So we can go here and type in star ANCE and then run that. And there you can see we find all records that contain the string ANCE. So what we've shown in this video is how you can resize columns, reorder columns, show errors when CRUD operations fail, and how you can filter the data that is shown in the spreadsheet control. In a previous video, we showed how you can filter the record shown in the search in the spreadsheet control by clicking on the filter icon in the column header. So in this video, we're going to show how you can add an advanced search control to the component. So let's go back to design mode now, and we'll go here and we'll add in an advanced search. I'll just call it AS1. And then I'll double click on the control to configure it. And we want to search in spreadsheet 1. We don't need to pick the fields shown in the advanced search, as is the case for the list, because we're going to automatically populate the advanced search control based on the columns that are shown in the search control, in the spreadsheet control. So let's go ahead now and then click OK, and then save this and run it. So you'll see we have our advanced search control over here, and we'll say we want to search on the country field, and we want to perform a contains search, and I'll go here and type in ANCE and then say run search. So there you can see we find all records that have ANCN in them, and there is the SQL statement that got executed, and there are the arguments that got used. So in this video, we show how you can filter the records in the advanced search control, in the spreadsheet control, using the advanced search control. Thanks very much for watching. In a previous video, we showed how you can build a UX component with the spreadsheet control that was populated with data from a SQL table, so that you could then perform CRUD operations on the SQL table. In this video, we'll show how you can build that same component by using a predefined template. So let's start out. Let's close this component down and build a brand new component. And this time we'll choose the generic SQL table data editor template. So we'll go here. And now when we try to run it, we'll see that it tells us that we haven't yet populated the choices for the connection string dropdown. So let's go back now and populate the choices for the connection string dropdown here to show the data from one of our connection strings. So we'll go here and we'll put in the Northwind, the sample Northwind connection string over there. Save this away. Let's go here and save this. We'll just call it UX2. And now we'll go ahead and we'll run it. So we'll go now and we'll pick our connection string, and then an AJAX callback is made to the Alpha server to get a list of all the tables in this connection. So here are all of our tables. So we'll go ahead now and choose customers. So now we are viewing a spreadsheet control that is populated with data from the customers table. And we can go here and make an edit and perform a CRUD operation against the customer table. So we'll go there and hit save. So now we've just done a CRUD operation against the customer table. Now let's choose a different table. So now here's employees. And so now we're back to the employees table. We can go here and change this to, and then save this, and then go ahead and then hit save. So now we've just performed a CRUD operation against the employees table. Let's switch back to the customers table. So here we are on the customers table. So what we're showing over here is that you can use this component to perform CRUD operations against any SQL table, and the user can select the table at runtime from a drop-down control. So in addition to selecting the table that you want to edit at runtime, you can also make changes to the columns and reorder the columns and have those remembered. So let's go now to the employee table, and let's take the first name column and move that to the beginning of the list, and then take the first name here and make it a little wider. So now we'll go back to customers, and when we come back to employees, what we'll see is that the column layout has been remembered and restored. So what we've shown in this video is how you can use a predefined template to edit the data in any SQL table, not just one that you've defined up front, but how you can then select the connection string and the table at runtime to choose which table you're going to be performing CRUD operations on. In a previous video, we showed how you can use a predefined UX template to build a component that has a spreadsheet control for editing data in a SQL table. So in this video, we'll show how you can then select which columns the spreadsheet control displays. So let's go now to look at the data in the customer table. So we'll see now that we have the data here in the customer table, and we're seeing all of the columns in this customer table. So let's go now and choose which fields we'd like to see. So let's say we'd like to just see the city field. So even though we've chosen the city field, you'll see that when we click the refresh button, the customer ID field will be included because that's the primary key of this table. So let's go ahead now and say refresh. So there's the city field and the customer field. And we are now just editing the fields that we selected from the drop down. So what we've shown in this video is how once you select a table to edit, you can then customize the fields that you want. And in addition to the customizing the list of fields, you can also do a search using an advanced search control here. So if we click on this button here, we'll see that the advanced search has been automatically populated with the currently selected columns in the spreadsheet control. So we can go here now and do a search on the city field and type in, say, London, and then hit run query. And we'll see now that we are searching and displaying only the records for city equals London. So what we've shown in this video is how you can customize the list of fields that are displayed in the spreadsheet control, and how you can do a search on that spreadsheet control by using the advanced search control. Thanks very much for watching.